Hey guys, how's it going? Tim from WeLoveHeatPumps here. Okay, so today what we're going to be looking at is the funding options that are available if you live in the United Kingdom. We've done a couple of videos about how much a heat pump actually costs, and we're going to be bringing more of those to you, especially around running costs as opposed to a gas boiler. The video today is really going to be about what funding options are available to you. There are a number of options depending on where you live in the country and the kind of income you have and your circumstances. And we're going to be looking at each of those in turn. So let's jump into it. Now, the first scheme we're going to look at is the most well-known scheme. It's called the Boiler Upgrade Scheme, and it's been running since 2022. Now, this scheme is available to anybody living in England and Wales who owns their own home and is replacing a fossil fuel heating system, so a gas boiler, something like that. You can be a landlord, so you can apply for a home that you own that you rent, or you can be an owner-occupier where you're living in your home, but you must own your own home. You can't apply for this if you are renting a home. The other thing you need to have is a valid EPC certificate, which is no less than 10 years old, and that certificate needs to say that there are no recommendations for cavity wall insulation or loft insulation. And really that's just to make sure that the heat pump will perform adequately when it's installed in your property. So if you're interested in installation and what that requires and the implications of that, we've got lots of information on our website, www.weloveheatpumps.com. Now, what's this scheme going to give you? The government effectively is going to give you a grant of up to £7,500 for the installation of a new heat pump, or that could be an air source heat pump or a ground source heat pump. And how do you apply? Well, this scheme is actually handled through your installer. So you'll need to find a qualified HVAC installer, and they'll come around, they'll basically specify what heat pump they recommend, and then they will make the application to the government on your behalf. They'll complete the installation, and then that money that the government are giving you will be offset against the price that they're going to charge you for the installation. So it's actually a great scheme because it's very light on homeowners in terms of the admin. You can find out more about this scheme at gov.uk or at our website www.weloveheatpumps.com. We're going to be giving out some links at the end of this video, so please do stay tuned and we'll give you some more information and more indication of where you can find out more about this scheme. So the next scheme we're going to talk about is called the Energy Company Obligation, and this is quite an interesting scheme because it's something the UK government does to put pressure on energy companies to help out people who are less fortunate to be able to actually make energy improvements to their home. So it's a scheme which is really aimed at people who are on benefits. If you're receiving benefits, there's a list of benefits which qualify. You could be eligible for this scheme. You can be a private tenant or you can be a social tenant. There's no exclusion there. Now, what does this scheme do? It actually subsidizes a number of energy improvements to your home, things like insulation, loft insulation, possibly installation of an air source heat pump, those kind of things. Now, where is this scheme available? It's actually available in certain areas, and you'll need to check with your local council or your local energy supplier whether it's something they're actually participating in. Interestingly, you don't actually need to be supplied by the energy supplier. As long as you're living within the area that they cover, you may be qualified. Again, we have more information on this scheme on our website, so please stay tuned and we'll be giving out more information and more links. So the next scheme we're going to look at is actually for people living in Wales, and it's called the Nest scheme. So it's a little bit like the boiler upgrade scheme, but it's for people that are living in Wales. Now, this scheme is available for people that own their own home or privately rented. It's not available for social tenants. Now, to qualify for this scheme, you must have an EPC rating of E or less, or D or less if somebody in your household has an eligible health condition. Now, if you do qualify for this scheme, what's going to happen is they're going to send somebody to assess your home, and they're going to make recommendations which are going to be covered by the scheme. Now, this could be things like air source heat pump installation, but it could also equally be something like installation to your house or loft, or just general energy improvements to your home. Again, we have more information on this scheme on our website. Now, the last schemes we're going to look at are for those people who are living in Scotland. Now, the first scheme is called the Home Energy Scotland Grant and Loan Scheme, and this is actually a great scheme. It's very generous. It provides up to £7,500 of grants, and on top of that, a loan, an interest-free loan of up to £7,500 to be used for energy upgrades to your home, which can include installation of an air source heat pump, but also all the usual things like insulation, loft insulation, that kind of thing. It's available for people who are owning their own home and living in the home. So it isn't available if you own your own home, but you rent it out. If you're someone who is struggling to pay your bills, so maybe you're on a lower income or you're receiving benefits, there's another scheme called the Warmer Home Scotland scheme that you may want to look at. Now, this scheme actually provides grant funding for people that want to make energy improvements to their home. The thing about this scheme is there's a certain amount of money available, and it's distributed on a first come first served basis. So if you think you may qualify, please act quickly because you don't want to miss out on the funding. So guys, that just about covers it. That really covers what funding is available in the UK. I know you're probably going to want to find out more information, so I do encourage you to go to our website, www.WeLoveHeatPumps.com. We've got loads of really interesting and sort of more in-depth information on there, and obviously then you can go and look at the individual sites for the schemes, which are generally on the government websites. If you want to find out any information at all about heat pumps, so you know whether that's cost or is your house suitable or do I need an installation or any of that stuff, we've got information about all of that on our website, WeLoveHeatPumps.com. And guys, you know, if you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button. Please do leave us a comment, leave us a like. It really helps us get the word out there. We're trying to bring information on heat pumps to the public in really easy to understand, easy to digest information or chunks, and it really helps us do that. And in the meantime, we'll see you on the next video.